There's this quote that I often think about by the Persian poet Rumi, and he says, "I searched for God and I found only myself. I searched for myself and I found only God." My name is Tolly Bryn. This is the Joy of Awareness, and I'm coming to you here from this incredibly weird but beautiful place. This is in Eldgjá, in uh, in Iceland. Really sunny, nice, warm day, and really calm. It's getting to the end of the summer now, so things are kind of calming down. And yeah, I've just been doing a lot of hiking and a lot of contemplation around this beautiful place. And today I wanted to make a video on what I call the path. And the reason I started this video with that beautiful quote from Rumi is because I have been coming to the realization that I am God. Thou art God, as the man from Mars would say, and I've started to grok it on a deeper level than I ever have before. Just how apt and how true that is. And this path that I'm talking about, this is something that I really want to dive deep into today. And this is something that I've been writing about a lot as well. And my upcoming book, Heart Liberated, will go into depth on this concept of the path and of you as God. Not that like I'm not dealing with any original ideas here. Really, this is just my take on the idea in quotes, the idea with a capital I, if you might want to say it that way. But as I came out of came out of my chronic illness, and I've been talking about this in the last videos that I've been making, when I had managed to heal myself from my chronic illness, and I came back into the world healthy, finally, I had what I had been asking for all this time. Like many years, I'd been really sick, I hadn't been able to do anything, I hadn't been able to live life, and I just felt so depressed and so weak and just terrible all the time. And finally, my body, I managed to give it the space that it needed to heal itself. And I came out of that chronic illness at first with a real sense of just pride and go-getter attitude, and started doing all kinds of things that I hadn't been able to do until then. But then I fell into a funk, into a depression, and I couldn't really understand why. Like I was just like, okay, so I got my health back. How can I be depressed now? How can I not be enjoying life like I imagined that I would be? And I realized that to some extent it had to do with the fact that the purpose that I had, I'd set myself a purpose of healing myself many years ago, and I had followed that path for the longest time. And then I got to the destination, and kind of took me by surprise because, as an analogy, it felt kind of like I'd been walking in this dense, dark forest for years and years and years, knowing that I had a destination somewhere ahead, but not knowing exactly where it was. Like this tunnel of trees, and I can't see the sky, I can't see any light before me. I've got a torch or whatever, and I'm just kind of walking through, and got a machete. Yeah, I gotta have a machete, I think. That's way cooler. So I've got this machete, and I'm kind of beating my way through the bush and fighting wild animals and all this stuff. Gotten super ripped as well. Yeah. Anyway, so I've been fighting my way through this forest all these years. And then all of a sudden, I take a few steps, and I see, like, past the next tree, there's that golden city that I've been headed towards all these years. And I was like, what? I'm here now? Wow, that's amazing. So I run down and have fun in the city for a few days, and you know, take a long needed bath and have something to eat that's not like raw spider meat or whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about here. This is a weird metaphor, but I love it. um, and then in a few days or weeks or months, I kind of realized like this city is boring as hell. Like I don't know what I'm doing here. Yes, I wanted to get out of the forest. Yes, I wanted to experience this place, but now that I'm here, I don't really have anything to do. Like and that's probably where the metaphor ends. I can't really take it much further than that. But basically, I was back in the world. I had a healthy body that I hadn't had for most of my 20s. I, technically had the potential to do anything, but in practice, I didn't really know what on earth I wanted to do. I didn't really, I felt like I had a purpose, and I set myself a new purpose after I came out, which was to pay down the student loans that I'd taken due to my illness. Started trying to gain some weight back after all the fasting that I'd been doing, put on some muscle, and had a lot of fun with that. I also wanted to get back into dating because I hadn't been able to do that for a long time. I'd had a girlfriend for most of the time I'd been sick, but we hadn't been able to be intimate for many years due to my illness. So I was really excited for a lot of things, but I didn't have any sort of overarching purpose or drive in life. And strangely enough, I started to realize, like, you know how they say, when you've got your health, you're wealthy, and there is a lot of truth to that, for sure. Health is a cornerstone of a good life, and that's absolutely obvious. And I'm not trying to detract from that in any way, because I'm so incredibly thankful and grateful that I did manage to overcome that horrific illness that I was dealing with all these years. But there is so much more to human existence than just this physical realm and just this physical body, as important as it is to be healthy and to treat your body with respect. There's just so much more. And I realized that if I wanted to actually feel good and live a good life and not be depressed and anxious all the time, I really needed to set some new goals and just find a new vision for my life and for myself. What I had just wasn't cutting it. So I made that my goal, and this took me a while to realize. It took me a while to find out exactly what was wrong. I was just like, I'm healthy. Why isn't that enough? Why am I not just happy with my life and myself as I am? And it's not been until recently that I've really started to see what needed to change and what needed to happen. I'm kind of figuring this stuff out as I make this video. I'm just kind of talking it out. So it's not really clear cut in my mind exactly what I'm saying here, but I think I'm kind of getting to the gist of it, which is that as I came out of this obsession over finding my physical health again, which was healthy in and of itself. I needed to heal my body. But as that journey was over, I discovered that it was time for a bigger purpose. It was time for a deeper purpose, and I had been following quite a self-serving purpose for many years, that of healing myself. And now it's time to help to heal others and continue to heal myself on a more mental and spiritual level rather than the physical. But especially this concept of just serving, and not serving as in like being a butler to some snooty lord, but to be of as much value as I can possibly be as a human being, in this world. And I really had to sit down and think, like, how, like, okay, I guess I'm intrinsically valuable as I am, just as a human being, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff that we're taught in kindergarten, which is fine. But if I take that concept of value even further, like what is it that I have? What are the insights or the experiences or the specific attributes that I have that others may lack or may need? And that's when I came to the realization, and kind of something clicked for me, I should say. I'd heard this often, just make your pain your purpose, and make your wound your way. And I'd always been just like, oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds just, sounds so depressing. Like, oh man, I've got this pain inside me, and I'm gonna start making that into the purpose of my life. That sounded terrible. But now I've started to see like that really is the only way forward for me. Like taking these experiences of difficulty and strife and hardship from my own life, and the story of overcoming it, and the power of the methods that I discovered for overcoming it. This is of such immense value, and I feel like it's my duty now to just do everything that I possibly can to get these ideas out there, to motivate people to take on the same journey that I did. That is to say, the people who need it. Like not everybody probably needs to go and start fasting and simplifying their diet and developing the self-awareness to do so, and taking it even further when it comes to overcoming past trauma and emotional, deep-seated emotional and spiritual pain. Like all this stuff that I'm working with here and working with within myself at the same time. This may not be for everybody, and other people will have paths that take them in different directions, and that is just as the world is, and that's probably the only way it could ever be. But I feel that this is my path. This is what I need to do, and I will evolve as I follow the path. I will become a better speaker. I'll become a better communicator, and I'll start writing better, and I'll discover how better to reach the people who need to hear my message. I'll develop like the self-confidence needed to actually put myself out there fully, because I can feel like, even though I've been making these videos for a few years now, and I've made a lot of videos and a lot of people have seen them, although I hope there'll be many, many, many more in the future. Even so, I still feel like, okay, there is this fear, there are these limiting beliefs that are holding me back from actually going all in, for going and really speaking my mind, and really just going full on, like making videos, writing every day, and all this stuff, which I can see like it's a no-brainer. I that's what I need to do. But that's part of the work that I'm doing right now, is figuring out the path, figuring out exactly, just kind of looking at the map, figuring out the logistics of it and all that. And also just kind of figuring out the exact steps that I need to make. And a huge part of that is actually meeting or finding the feelings, the emotions, and the limiting beliefs that underlie this fear of making an impact, I might say. And it's really strange when you think about it. Like I, for instance, I know from direct experience, and that's all I talk about, always. Like I always talk from my own direct experience. I make a huge effort not to talk about stuff that I don't know about directly. I've seen in my own life, in my own body, and in other people around me, huge, massive healing from following the protocols that I've talked about. The physical healing through fasting and simple diet, the letting go technique, like David R. Hawkins talks about in his books, that I've been using for like trauma release and working through difficult emotions, along with like all of the other stuff that I've talked about through the years and through my videos and on my website and through my books and all this stuff, like the psychedelics and the meditation and the travels and all this stuff. Like it's all part of the same bigger picture. And I think that's the work that I'm doing now for myself, and which will this this will be a key part of Joy of Awareness in the future. Is this holistic approach? Because I realized quite early on, while I was working with Joy of Awareness, at first I thought of it such as, I thought of it sort of as a channel focused on fasting, mostly fasting and physical health and simplifying the diet, and I would just make lots of videos on that. And then I realized, like, it's not enough. Like, fasting is a miracle cure. It can help you so much in so many different ways and just fix your body in ways that you can't believe. And just it's such an incredibly valuable concept in and of itself that you might be able to make a huge channel just focused on fasting. But I realized that for myself, it just didn't really make sense, because there's just so much more to it for me. Like I was saying, came out of this long-standing chronic illness, and I didn't know what to do with myself, and I got depressed, and life wasn't that good, even though I was healthy again. And it was just like, it's just crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I don't want that to be something that other people experience if I can avoid it. Like, I want to learn how to get out of it myself, and that's what I've been doing, and it's been working wonderfully. But the last thing I want is for somebody who's been dealing with chronic illness for a long time, like I was, to follow my protocols, to fast and simplify their diet and figure stuff out and heal themselves, and then step back out in the world with a new body and a new healthy mind, and just not know what to do, and just get kind of lost. And that's just a really sad and scary thought for me, because it is kind of traumatizing. It is kind of paradigm shattering, this work that we do with this protocol, through the fasting and through the healing. It will leave an impact on you that will be difficult to assess, and it will be difficult socially as well. Just kind of getting back out in the world, telling people about your experiences, you'll meet with such bafflement and often hostility that you won't believe it. And you probably don't believe me now, if you haven't been through it yet. You probably don't believe just how weird people can get when you start telling them about a healing journey like that. So yeah, I think I won't make this video much longer. I think I kind of touched on the core concepts that I wanted to talk about. This is just incredibly valuable, or I should say incredibly important stuff, and I just feel such a need to really try to dive deep into exactly what this is, like this concept, or these concepts that I'm trying to figure out here through these videos. So I hope you'll bear with me, and I hope you're getting some value out of these sort of meandering videos. Like, I know I'm kind of rambling sometimes, but it's also kind of a way to just figure out these core concepts. And I've got like a kind of clear idea of what it is that I want to talk about, but it's the process of talking that really makes them crystal clear for me, and hopefully for you as well. So if you enjoy my stuff, if you enjoy my videos, if you like this video, if you like me, if you think I'm handsome and beautiful and all this, you can like and subscribe. That would be really, really, really valuable to me. If you can share it somewhere, that'd be even better. Just try to get this out there as much as you can. Like, I realize that this is incredibly valuable stuff, and I want these videos to get in front of the eyeballs of as many people as it possible can. And you, my friends, are the people who can do that for me. Check out my books also. That's Health Simplified and Mind Reclaimed. They're on Amazon. I'll leave some links down below. And finally, you can check out my website as well. That's joyofawareness.com. Lots of articles on there that you'll probably enjoy. That being said, I will say peace and love to you all. Love you all. You're awesome. I just love seeing these comments from you guys. You just fills me with so much hope and inspiration, and just motivates me to keep going. When I see these testimonials of people who are just like, yeah, I tried out your fasting routine and I healed myself, and it's just like, what? That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Just please keep them coming. Please keep leaving comments and all that stuff. Yeah, love you guys. See you next time. Bye.